All right, let's talk about NotebookLM. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's one of the most powerful free AI tools ever made. Seriously. But here's the thing. There's a secret to it. I've seen some folks get these absolutely mind-blowing, game-changing results with it, and then I've seen others who just get totally disappointed. And the difference? It all boils down to how you use it.
You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You ask something like ChatGPT a question, and it just dives into the whole internet to find an answer. And yeah, sometimes it's great, but other times, well, it just makes stuff up. It hallucinates. And that is so frustrating, especially when you actually need information you can trust.
And this is exactly where NotebookLM comes in. Look at this comparison. On the one hand, you've got the wild west of the internet that fuels most AI. But on the other, you have this focused, curated little world you build yourself inside NotebookLM. It's a totally different ballgame. Instead of guessing from that giant, messy web, it's grounded only in the sources you give it. See the difference? You're the one in charge of the library, not some big tech company. And that means its answers aren't going to be generic or just plain wrong. They're going to be super specific and based on stuff you already know is solid.
Okay, so how do you actually get good at this? Well, the great news is you don't need to learn a bunch of complicated prompts or weird tricks. Nope. It all comes down to this really simple but super powerful 3-step framework. And I promise you, once you get this, it's going to completely change how you deal with information.
And here it is. Simple, right? Curate, learn, and act. That's it. Think of this as your game plan. It walks you through the whole process, from finding the best stuff to really digging in and understanding it, and then, the most important part, actually making something new with it. It's a full-on workflow. All right, let's dive into step 1, curate your sources. And I can't stress this enough. This is the most important step. It's the foundation for everything else. The quality of what you get out of the AI is 100% tied to the quality of what you put in. You get this right, and you're golden.
This right here, this is the biggest mistake I see people make, hands down. They treat NotebookLM like a dumping ground, just grabbing random stuff from the internet and throwing it all in. If you're doing that, you are using it completely wrong. You're basically just creating your own little messy internet, which defeats the whole purpose, right? The big takeaway is you have to be selective.
But the cool part is how easy they make it to build this knowledge base. I mean, look at all the options. You can upload PDFs and other files, sure. But you can also just drop in links to websites or YouTube videos. You can hook it up to your Google Drive. You can literally just copy and paste text. And one of my favorite features, you can record your own voice notes. How cool is that?
So when we say curate, what does that really mean? It just means you vet your sources. You only add the good stuff, the articles, the videos, the notes that you know are high quality. You're not trying to build a giant public library here. You're building a small, exclusive library for your own personal AI expert. Okay, so you've built your amazing curated library. Now we get to the really fun part. Step 2, learn and transform. This is where you take all that great info you've gathered and start turning it into brand new insights. This is where the magic happens.
The whole reason this works is because of this concept called grounded AI. All that means is that every single answer it gives you comes only from the documents you gave it, period. And the best part, it shows its work. It always gives you citations, pointing you to the exact sentence in the exact document it used, so you can check everything. No more guessing where the AI got its info.
Now, just chatting with your sources, asking questions, getting summaries, that alone is incredibly powerful. Don't get me wrong. But the real magic, the stuff that feels like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, that happens in a place called the studio. This is where we go beyond just asking questions.
So for example, let's say you've loaded up a bunch of articles and notes for a project. Instead of just reading them all over again, what if you could just turn them into a podcast? With just a few clicks, NotebookLM can create an entire audio summary of all your key points. Imagine listening to your research on your commute.
Not an audio person? Maybe you're a visual learner. No problem. The studio can take those exact same sources and spin up a short animated explainer video for you. It'll even have a little AI presenter breaking everything down. It's like having a personal video production team for your notes.
Or what if your sources are full of data or complicated ideas? Well, it can design a custom infographic for you. It'll just lay it all out visually, helping you see all the connections and patterns that you'd totally miss if you were just reading pages of text.
And this last one, for anyone who's a student, this is an absolute game changer. You can upload your class notes or a chapter from a textbook, and boom, the studio will instantly create quizzes and flashcards for you. It's like having a personal study buddy to help you lock in the information.
And that brings us to our final step, which is honestly the one most people forget: act. This is the whole point. It's the bridge between just knowing stuff and actually doing something with it in the real world.
I mean, think about it. Knowledge is completely wasted unless you actually use it. Learning for learning's sake is fine, but the real power comes when you build something, when you create something, when you do something with what you've learned. Otherwise, it's all just trivia, right? And look, NotebookLM is built to help you take that action. You can use it to generate outlines and scripts for your content. You can lay the groundwork for a whole business plan. You can create shareable reports, download those infographics we just talked about, or even share your entire notebook and work on it with your team. It's all about creating an output.
So when you put all three of those steps together, you see what's happening, right? This isn't just a fancy new tool for reading documents. The Curate, Learn, Act framework is a whole system for moving past just passively consuming information and into actively mastering it.
It really is a transformation. You start by carefully choosing a knowledge base that you trust. Then, you use the AI to help you learn and see that knowledge in new ways. And finally, you act on it, turning that passive info into something real, something tangible.
Which really leaves us with one last big question. Just think about it for a second. Imagine having an assistant that's read every single thing you trust, that thinks using the models and frameworks that you've taught it. What would you build with that? What problems would you solve? The real question to ask yourself is, what will you create when your AI knows exactly what you know?